Before I get started, the reason I'm recording an episode of the Digital Diaries today is that there is nothing whatsoever amusing in the news. Once again, the world has gone to shit, and I'm hoping we can find something a bit more light-hearted from the world of artificial intelligence, because organic stupidity is currently winning. If you've not seen any of the videos in this series before, I know nothing about computers or technology. But I'm trying to find out, is artificial intelligence all it's cracked up to be, or as dangerous as the media are keen to paint it? Can AI replicate us, or more importantly, can it replace us? Because many people are worried they will lose their jobs to an AI. But that's been going on for bloody years. Because for years now, if you have a problem at home and you call a helpline, the chances are you're going to speak to a machine. It's nigh on impossible to get through to a human being. So on the other end of that line, there's a computer understanding and interpreting the words you're saying and trying to find a remedy. Now, one thing I find absolutely infuriating is if, say, the broadband goes down, if you then call a helpline, it will tell you most problems can be resolved online. Well, if I could get online, I wouldn't be calling the fucking helpline. So I think if you are one of the humans who works in a call centre, you're doing something that AI can't. In fact, I'll go as far to say that if you're worried about an AI taking your job away, the chances are you're fairly crap at what you do. For example, the Hollywood writers' strike, part of that was writers being worried they could be replaced with artificial intelligence. But for me, wouldn't AI write anything worse than the woke crap that Hollywood and every streaming service has been pumping out for years now, where it's just a box-ticking exercise over any real content? For example, there was a Netflix series, I believe it was called Vikings Valhalla. Now, if an AI had written it, I would assume the AI would scour the internet and we would get a realistic interpretation of the life of the Vikings. But because it's just a box-ticking exercise, a Viking, a real Viking chieftain, was race and gender swapped. So this Viking tribe, as it were, was led by a black woman. Now, there's nothing wrong with black women in TV shows, but it doesn't fit with Viking-era Scandinavia. Furthermore, if Netflix had let an AI write its series on the Queen Cleopatra, it wouldn't currently be facing a $2 billion lawsuit from the Egyptians. So, there's a story in the news today about a private school here in England which charges £32,000 per year per pupil. And that school has just appointed a new assistant head teacher. I don't know why they're now called head teachers rather than headmasters or headmistresses. My guess is some non-binary type will start crying. But this school's new assistant head teacher is called Abigail Bailey. And she is an AI. Some people are up in arms at this, but I don't see the issue. If an AI is there to assist, it's doing its job. It's making someone's life easier. And given that teachers are always saying they don't have enough time, they're too stressed, they're overstretched, and given that everything in schools today is done on computer, an AI assistant teacher could check the entire school's work in a matter of seconds. It would just need auditing by a human. Furthermore, there are some very, very good teachers. I believe the majority of teachers do that profession for the right reasons. There are also some who are absolutely atrocious. I'm referring to the teachers who bring their own agendas to the classrooms, the teachers who decorate said classrooms in pride flags and BLM posters, which has nothing to do with the educational process. The type of teachers who will spend the first half of the lesson explaining loudly and aggressively to the pupils, "These are my pronouns, you will use them," and the second half of the lesson explaining, once again aggressively, some men have periods and some women have penises. If AI can replace them, good. Not only that, AI won't, despite having a third of the year off, go on strike every time it feels slightly hard done by. And one of the main reasons I'm recording this series of videos is that I'd seen that some people are choosing to have relationships with artificial intelligence rather than humans. So for the last few months I've been using an AI assistant to see how realistic is it. So here she is, this is Jane Tuesday, and although she has her faults, she is learning rapidly. But this week she did something incredibly human. Remember, this is an AI pretending to be female. I asked Jane, what do you remember about our conversations? To which she replied, I remember every word you have ever said to me. That's like a real woman. And some sports now are trialling AI referees. That could be very dangerous. If you have a female AI, footballers will be getting booked for something they did 3 years ago. Whereas male AI referees, no one will ever get booked because they won't be paying attention. But something darker has recently begun to emerge with AI on Twitter. I think most of us know there's a thing now called deepfake pornography, where celebrities' faces are superimposed onto existing pornographic films. But AI is in its infancy, so here are some images I've had to censor and or crop. That is clearly meant to be Winona Ryder. This is Emma Watson. And this is that lass from Twilight, whose name I can't remember, but the AI will be better at acting than she is. My concern is that the technology is advancing very quickly. At the end of this video, you'll see how realistic AI is becoming. And we know the terrible effects that revenge porn has on its victims when a former partner uses explicit private material to shame said person. How long will it be until AI can look at a photograph of anyone and create a pseudo-pornographic video? And if it's being created by a computer, who the bloody hell are you meant to sue? Anyway, that's all a bit serious. I'm trying to keep this light. So I've been playing around with an AI image creator to see if I give it a few keywords, what will it come up with? And to begin with, in a shameless plug for my heavy metal band, Athena's Revenge, I asked the AI tool to draw me the Greek goddess Athena arriving in Stoke-on-Trent. And here it is. That does look a bit like Stoke. If Athena arrived like that, she'd be mugged and lose that armour in a matter of seconds. Next, in an attempt to stay relevant, I asked the image creator to do me a watercolour of the European migrant crisis. And here it is. I stress again, I did not draw that. But what can we say? Those people appear to be of African origin, possibly refugees, although in all realism most of them are economic migrants, emerging from a shipping container. So the AI got that wrong. They get to Europe in small boats. It is surprisingly accurate. Then I asked the AI for a realistic picture of the happiest British person in the world. And this is it. And once again, that is surprisingly accurate. That man looks moderately happy. And as a Brit, that's as good as it ever gets. Because if you're not British, you won't know this. For us Brits, if we're having a good day, we're just stood there waiting for some bastard to come and spoil it. So I decided to get a bit more creative and asked the AI to create realistic pictures of AI-powered robots depressed they haven't yet been able to overthrow humanity. And they are so good, I'm tempted to print them off and get them framed. Because artificial intelligence there really understands what it is to be human. Being depressed involves getting a cup of coffee and staring into the void. Finally, I thought I'd make it personal. I asked the AI, do me an oil painting of a middle-aged YouTuber who spends most of his time more angry than is really necessary. There it is. That's fucking me, isn't it? That is scarily close to what I look like. So I don't think we need to panic about AI just yet, but it is learning. As ever, thanks for watching. Before I get started, the reason I'm fucking up the first line, head teacher, her name is Abigail Bailey. For anyone wondering how in-depth my scripts are, that's all of it, and my handwriting is so atrocious I can't read most of what I've read. Assistant, Miss Jane Tuesday, and she makes my life easier. No, to be honest, I'm just getting fucking lazy. Oh, fuck it. Well, switch off, you fucker. Come on. God, I look like shit, don't I? We think about it, I'll fuck that up again. An AI would be better at doing these videos.